Behavior of a prism, a lens, spherical mirror toward the plane wave front. Means when a plane wave front is made to fall over a prism, a lens, a spherical mirror, how do it behaves? Basically, what kind of secondary wave front we obtain, we will discuss in this topic, and this is one of the important topic and usually come in the final exams. So in case of a prism, now let us consider this is a prism and a plane wave front is made to fall over it. Plane rays, suppose the rays which are falling over it are the parallel rays. So the wave front that will form here will be like this. In that case, this is the plane wave front. So the rays which are falling over it, this is the locus of the points, is known as wavefront. This is the primary wavefront, and since this wavefront while passing through the prism have to travel through different thickness of the prism, and also it will suffer the change in speed, since in air the speed of light is maximum and in the medium it changes, it decreases. So accordingly, what should be the behavior of the refracting wavefront in this case? Let us study that. Now this wavefront, since it is passing through air, almost through air, this ray, so it will move faster and will reach in time t at this point, suppose. But this wavefront have to travel a correspondingly larger thickness of the prism and also suffers the change in speed will decreases. So in time t, when this wavefront, this particle will send the disturbance at this point, this particle could reach only at this point. So accordingly, this would be the refracting wavefront, and the ray which are normal to the wavefront can be drawn like this. So we can name it as that this is AB and this is A dash B dash. So we can say that A dash B dash is the refracting wavefront of AB when passing through the prism. Similarly, in case of a lens, if I draw a wavefront, this is a lens, and let us consider a plane wavefront. Parallel rays are made to fall over it like this. So what should be the wavefront at this point? At this point, the wavefront will be a plane wavefront, since parallel rays are made to fall over it. So wavefront will be the parallel wavefront. Again, you can see that at this point, this particle have to travel comparatively lesser distance, this also, but this have to travel the larger distance, also suffers the change in speed more as compared to these points. Okay, so in that case, what should be the wavefront? Since it will travel faster, so in time t, suppose it reaches to this point, and similarly this will reaches to this point. But this particle can send the disturbance up to this point only in time t, as it has to travel the larger distance through the lens. So if we draw, these are the secondary wavelets by using Huygens principle, and the surface touching tangentially these secondary wavelets is known as secondary wavefront. So the wavefront that we obtain is basically our secondary wavefront, and the rays which we could draw normally to this are these. So we can name this as the converging wavefront. This is spherical and converging wavefront. Converging wavefront. Right. Similarly, in case of spherical mirror. Now, if we are having a spherical mirror like convergent wavefront is made to fall. Earlier to that, let us consider that here we have made to fall the plane wavefront. Firstly, we will discuss about the lens in detail. Let us consider a spherical wavefront is fall over the surface. Spherical, how we can get the spherical wavefront? Let us consider S is a point source, and we know that in case of a point source, we will be having the spherical wavefront. So let us draw this spherical wavefront. This is the spherical wavefront. Okay, so now this spherical wavefront is made to fall. So we will draw these ray diagrams as, okay, so these are made to fall over the lens. So this is the lens. Okay, now in this case, you can see that this wavefront will reach in time t, and this is mostly the part in air. So in time t, when this particle reaches at this point, since this distance is lesser as compared to this could reach at this point only. Similarly, this distance traveled is almost equal in time t, and this will reach at this point. So we can get the plane wavefront. If I draw the tangentially touching surface, so we will be having a plane wavefront when a diverging wavefront is made to fall over the lens. So this is the refracted plane wavefront when a diverging wavefront is made to fall over the lens. Now talking about the mirrors. Let us consider a plane wavefront first is made to fall over this mirror. So these are the plane rays, okay? And the wavefront we will be having will be a plane wavefront. Let at any time t, these are the wavelets, and the surface touching this is the wavefront, okay? And we can say that plane, you have to use the scale properly and draw this line straight, and let this plane wavefront is made to fall over this, okay? So now this spherical wavefront will converge these rays, like they reflect these rays like this. So if we join the locus of these points at this point, what should be the locus at time t, it would reach, this ray would have to travel the larger distance, so we will be having this is converging wavefront. So when a plane wavefront is made to fall over the mirror, this is the plane wavefront, so we can have a convergent wavefront obtained after the reflection. Similarly, we can prove that when a divergent wavefront is made to fall over the mirror. Let us consider now this is a mirror. This is the mirror, and let this is a point source which is at its focus, suppose. Then the rays which are made to fall will be diversion rate, and if I join the points, this will be a diverging wavefront. After reflection, that will become straight, or we can say that we will be having a parallel plane wavefront. So we have discussed about the nature of prism, lens and mirrors, how do they behave, how we can get the refracting wavefronts after the refraction through them.